Brian Fritz here at the WWE 2K16 event here with WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. So you've got an opportunity to play the video game. Your impressions on the brand spanking new game?
It's pretty awesome, man. 2K actually continues to improve every single year. They got Ukes on board again. It's awesome. And I'm the champ in the game, so you can't really beat that. They got my chest hair, got my music, got everything. It's awesome.
Isn't that incredible, the amount of detail that they get with everything, like down to like tattoos on some of the guys, like you said, the facial hair, just every little detail.
Oh, dude, they got everything. It's crazy how realistic the video games are nowadays compared to when I started playing them back in, 1990 or whatever, playing WrestleFest on the arcade, you know, Demolition, Legion of Doom and stuff like that. So it's just wild to be a part of this generation of video games.
When you played that game back then, what tag team did you play as? Because you could pick a lot of different guys.
Yeah, that game was awesome, actually. For some reason, I liked being the characters that you couldn't be very often. My guys were Hogan and Warrior. Like, I would always team them up just because they were my favorites. But I liked playing as like the big boss man too, just because he wasn't in any of the other games, really. You know.
It was always impossible to try to beat Andre the Giant, because at the end, man, to beat him, it was ridiculous.
Oh, you know what? I sucked at the game, so I never even got to fight Andre. That's how bad I was.
I'm sorry, I'm bragging here then.
That's all right. It's okay.
But you've got the hardware, so let's talk about the being a World Heavyweight Champion, WWE. Obviously, winning it back at WrestleMania. What have you? What are your impressions so far of how this run has gone for you?
I've been enjoying the process a great deal. I think that between the guys that I've had the opportunity to go against, the big match settings, including SummerSlam coming up this Sunday, it's been pretty incredible for me. I'm learning a lot of pressure every single night to go out and be the man, so to speak, but I'm really enjoying the opportunity.
When it comes to that pressure, is that something that you could try to avoid? Can you put that out of your mind, or do you constantly feel that, considering the position that you're in now? I
think for me, it's something that I thrive under. Pressure for me is a good place. I like being in a position where I have to be the man every single night. Like, I enjoy that. I think for me, if I don't have some sort of pressure to kind of push myself to the next level, I lose a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I lose a little bit of that edge. When I feel like I've always got something to prove, I perform a little bit better, so I welcome the pressure.
It's funny that when the Shield came up, when yourself and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose came up, everybody was instantly talking like, which one of these guys is going to be the first breakout singles guy? Which one's going to be the first one to hold the World Heavyweight Championship? What are your thoughts now, looking at that you are that guy? You were the one that got that opportunity.
I mean, in the back of my mind, I always knew that it was going to be me, but I think the other two would say that as well. And you talk about breakout single stars, and realistically, there isn't one out of the three of us that's not a breakout single star. In our own right, all of us are doing extremely well, as we knew that we would. And the Shield was a vehicle to drive us all to where we're at right now. So I just happened to be the guy who got the title before the other two. So it'll be an arms race, flip-flopping this thing back and forth, I'm sure, for years and years to come. But for now, I'm going to hold on to the sucker as long as I can.
Do you think you've surprised a lot of fans with your opportunity to do promos and how effective they've been? Because people always wondered that about you, like, well, let's see what happens when Seth gets the opportunity to talk a little bit more.
I've surprised myself, to be honest with you, but it's been a great learning experience for me, you know. When I wrestled in other promotions before I got to WWE, even down in NXT, the opportunities didn't come to be out there doing a 15-minute monologue, you know, giving gifts to J&J Security and Kane and presenting a car and stuff like that. So those types of things are not things that I was just accustomed to doing. So with more practice and patience and learning how to work a live crowd of that nature and you know, work a crowd on television as well, I think I've gotten pretty all right at it. So it's something that I've really enjoyed learning how to do.
What's the moment going to be like for you at SummerSlam? You're in the co-main event, obviously defending your championship against John Cena, the title versus title match. What do you think it's going to be like to be in that atmosphere on such a big stage?
Well, the Barclays is an historic building for me, not in general. Obviously, it's a very young building, but for me, this is where I had my first televised match in WWE history, the Shield versus Team Hell No and Ryback. The crowd that night was one of the most electric crowds I've ever been a part of. I fully expect this main event match with John Cena, title for title, to supersede that. It's going to be pretty insane.
Two last things. So obviously we saw when John Cena broke his nose. What were your thoughts initially when it happened? Like, did you know the second that it happened?
Yeah, my first thought was, oh, because you could feel it and hear it. If you weren't in the ring, you probably missed it. But I mean, myself, the referee, and John all knew that it was broke right away. We just didn't know the extent of it. And then when John came up and I saw how gnarled his face was, it was pretty extreme. And I've been in the ring for some wild injuries, but that one was as gruesome as they come.
Last thing, you were a guy that obviously came up through the NXT system. What's it like for you now to see that brand and what it's become, and see the talent that's come out of there as well?
Extremely proud of it, because those are my guys. Finn Balor, Neville, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. These are my guys. These are my boys. These are dudes I ran with for years. So, you know, the entire world maybe didn't know how good they were. I knew the whole time. So I'm proud of them. Proud to see them all, and the girls as well. They're kicking butt and making names for themselves, and changing the whole game for women in sports. And it's just awesome to be a part of it. And I think of myself as a bit of a leader in that situation. So it's just awesome for all of us to be changing the game. It's our time, for real.
Seth, congratulations on all the success, and keep up the great work.
Thank you very much, Brian.